All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. So, welcome everybody. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get continue to talk about the power of pre-qualification. All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. So, welcome everybody. Good morning. Sorry, that's my alter ego in the background. so, of course, we're going to talk about power of pre-qualification. We're going to continue to build up the value in regards to that. So, as usual, for those of you that are joining us over on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I'm going to encourage you to come join us over here on Zoom as I'm going to be sharing scripts and I'm going to be basically breaking it down and continuing to move in that direction. All right. So, with today's topic, today's points that I'm going to go over here real quick, um, pulling up the notes. And if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, feel free to go ahead and ask away. So, let's talk about this. All right. So, when we're pre-qualifying, okay, if the client's answers are vague, we've talked about going through, asking questions, asking about the questions between the questions, and sometimes the questions that we do ask, we don't have quite so much of the descriptiveness of that. It's a little bit generic. It's a little bit of vague of a response, a little bit vague of an answer. So, we want to be in a position where we are being a little bit more thorough and a little bit more detailed. Okay. What do I mean by that? Okay. So, would you take a moment and describe your home for me? Well, it's a nice house. You can come take a look at it. Okay. Welcome, Lizette. All right. So, in that, we are talking about, of course, creating the clarity regarding the questions between the questions. And sometimes the questions, when we ask them, they're just way too generic. When you get those questions that are generic, I want you to get more in depth behind that. Remember, the questions between the questions are always going to lead with who, what, when, where, why, how, and the occasional if, depending on what it is that what we're asking. This is going to help us to identify their motivation. What is their true motivation? So asking those questions are going to be of importance. Now, pre-qualifying also is going to help us, as we talked about before, drawing out the objections in advance. Okay, drawing out the objections in advance. This is going to allow us to be more proactive in our listing presentation. I want to talk about this in part right here for a second. There's a saying we have to remember that knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. The more that we know, the more confident we can be. The more that we know, the better we can perform. Let me ask the audience. This is the part where I do get a little bit of participation. What type of objections do you get when pre-qualifying? Anyone?
What price won't you go below?
Okay, so
They
basically,
won't give out the price.
okay, so when you ask that question, what kind of a response did they give you?
Well, I want you to tell me rather than I tell you.
Got it. Okay, so I totally get that, Anne. It is definitely my job. My job as a professional real estate agent is to study homes and prices every single day. That's my job. Therefore, I'm assuming that you're going to list with me at a price that's going to cause it to sell, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to give you my opinion, and I really appreciate the fact that you're going to allow me the opportunity. But what's a number that you have in mind that you would not want to go below?
Okay.
Okay,
I
just,
see.
but give me more resistance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a number.
Yeah. I don't know, but I don't want to give my house away.
Yeah, and you know that I really appreciate that, Anne. And here's a good thing: I've been in the business now for over 25 years. The last thing I want to do is be in a position where I make you feel uncomfortable in regards to the pricing. I've never given a home away, so we're on the same page. I want to make sure that we're there. Now, I know that when we spoke the other day, you were talking about a neighbor selling their home around 1.4 million. Is that kind of the ballpark where you want to be at?
Yes, but that home is actually smaller than mine,
Okay.
so I think my house can work more.
Got it. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I have not ran the comps yet, so I'll take a look. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, I asked that in an upswing, okay? And I did that intentionally because I want to be able to create doubts. Okay, so the one thing though, Anne, in regards to that $1.4 million property, I don't have the information in front of me, but I think you mentioned that it sold last year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to pull up some comps, I'm going to see the valuation in regards to your property. If we do, for whatever reason, because the market has kind of adjusted from a year ago, if we are closer to 1.3 or heck, maybe even matching that 1.4 number, is that a number that you would consider entertaining?
Okay, possible.
Okay, good. So now what am I going to do? I go and look at the comps and everything's 1.2, 1.25, 1.27, 1.29, 131, 132. And I'm like, goodness, I can't even get her 1.4. Right? So in that, it allows me the opportunity when going on presentation to be able to not focus on that, but better prepare for that. And where can I do that? I sprinkle it into my listing presentation. And at the end of my presentation tonight, one of two things will happen. Number one, you have the opportunity to list, or one of three things will happen. Number one, you have the opportunity to list your home with me. Number two, you may decide not to list your home with me. Number three, I might decide not to take your listing. Now, why would that happen? And I want to get your permission in advance. Is it okay if I give you the truth and nothing but the truth so that we can get your home sold? Okay, good. Now, I want to make sure that I give you the truth and I want to give you the information that's going to cause your home to sell. Because the last thing I want to do is be wasteful of your time and give you a number that you're wanting to hear. I'd rather give you a number that you need to hear so that we can get your home sold. Go to the rest, go to the rest, go to the rest, go to the rest. And then I come back and I go, there's really two parts of this research, Ann. Part one is with what we call as fantasy land. That's where homeowners unfortunately list their homes for. And sometimes agents agree to take those listings, but they don't sell. We want to avoid that at all costs. So it is important that we do pay attention to a price that's going to cause it to sell. Because part two is with what we call as reality. And that is the information. I'm pointing at the information that's here. We got to look at the information and we have to determine whether you want to test the market and see if we can probably chase the market, or we can be in a position, if I remember correctly, you're making this move because of blah blah blah. Okay. So we're not going to decide that now because we haven't seen any of the comps, but I want to make sure. So my point is I'm emphasizing on this. When somebody else, the complete opposite, if they're just like, let's say, for example, the property's worth 1.4 and they're saying, well, as long as I could get 1.2, 1.3, I'll be happy with that. Okay. Or heck, it's worth 1.4 and it's a past client, it's a friend or a family member, and they go, look, I trust you, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm not going to overemphasize that in my listing presentation. This is what's going to help us get more listings because now as we go through, we chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away. And then we go to the comps. And now when I go to the comps, I've already reduced that friction, that negativity, the somewhat animosity, pricing animosity by 10 or 20%. And now when I go through the comps, I can a little bit further emphasize. And we have two properties that we're going to compare to that is right now your competition. We have this first property that's a little concerning to me, and I'm going to share with you why. Okay. This property here has how many bedrooms? Yeah, four, like just like yours. Okay, look at the bathrooms. It's 2.5, just like yours. This one here is 2,700 square feet. Okay, yours is 2,400 square feet. So it's a little bit bigger than yours. Now, this one here is completely remodeled. They put in $200,000 in this home literally in the last 90 days. Your home is beautiful, but we got to be honest. You know, they're including everything in the kitchen. They're including all of this other stuff. Okay. Now, I'm not even worried about that. What I'm worried about is this number right here, two numbers, one right here. You see this at 1.4 million? Yeah. Okay. But the number that really stands out to me is this other number right here. You see that number of 97? That's DOM. Do you know what DOM stands for? That's days on market. That's telling us that this home at $1.4 million has not caused this home to sell. And we got to be honest, Ann. I mean, this is very comparable to your home, but maybe just a smidge better, only because it's a little bit bigger. And for that matter, it is completely rehabbed, and they did a great job on this home. And unfortunately, 1.4 has not caused this home to sell in almost 100 days. And we don't want to take that approach. But you know what, though, Ann, let's not focus on that. Let's continue because I got four other comps that I want to go over and review with you. But did I make my point up until this? Right? Now, why am I talking about this? Because when we go through and we do a listing presentation, most of the agents, 90%, 95% of the agents, what do they talk about?
Plan of action.
Not really. Yeah, most agents don't talk about plan of action. What do they talk about?
Themselves.
Yep,
Their
themselves,
company.
their company. Okay, they're gonna go like this. Here we go, Lizette. Let's role play. Okay, we're gonna go through like this. This is what ends up happening. I come over and I'm presenting with Lizette, and I'm basically actually, if you can unmute yourself so we can role play. Okay. So, Lizette, I'm really excited about getting your home on the market and getting it sold. Now, you mentioned to me that the purpose of getting this home sold is because of this, because of that. Now, can I share with you about my company?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't know if you know, but our company's been around for probably about 150 years. Have you ever done business with our company?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you, when we started the foundation of our company 150 years ago, the founder of our company really thought about the philosophy of the following. And if you notice, the colors are the following. We're red, white, and blue. We're very patriotic and we're really proud company with what it is that we represent. And we're amazing. We're the number one company in all of the county. We have a lot of agents. We're actually the number one office with agent counts. We do a lot of business here in the area. And as a matter of fact, last month our company sold a little over 30 homes. So we are amazing. And then let me tell you about myself. Okay, so I've been now in the business for 25 years. I'm great. I'm amazing. I'm this. I'm here. I'm there. I'm all this other stuff. Okay, now here's 4 comps. Let me share this with you. We have this comp. We have this comp. We have this comp, and we have this comp. What's a number you think that we should sell it at?
885.
Got it. So 885. Okay, so 885. So we're thinking basically 885. Well, I don't know, because ultimately the comps here are showing a little bit closer to 800,000. Okay. So in that, yeah. So in that, it is. I really think that we should be pricing it a little bit closer to 800,000. What do you think?
Yeah, probably a little closer to 800.
Yeah. So my point and with what I'm trying to make is that that's a typical listing presentation, but that's sprawled out over 30, 45 minutes or an hour. Okay. And then I'm getting the price objection. Yeah, but my neighbor sold it for 900,000. My neighbor sold it for this. My neighbor sold it for that. Do you guys see with what I'm saying versus being in a position of being prepared, and I chip away, I chip away, I chip away, I chip away, I chip away. And then by the time we get to the comps, yeah, I guess 885 is not going to be the number that we should use, right? Okay. So any feedback in regards to that, Lizette? Anything you want to share with the audience?
No, I just think would it be a good idea to handle the objections that you do find on the pre-qualification call? Like once you call, do you handle those up front at the presentation, or do you just continue on with the script?
No, I mean, it's one of the things that you don't ever want to confront the client. Okay. What I will do, let's say, for example, you're adamant about the 885. That's the number that you're thinking of. We talked about what's a price you wouldn't want to go below, or what's a price you wanted to list it at. You said 900,000. What's the number you wouldn't want to go below? 885. I look at the comps, and everything I'm looking at is between 750 and maybe 810, maybe 820 with a pull home. And then I sit there and I call you back and confirm. And now I'm sitting there talking about, well, I saw these comps, I saw this other stuff. What ends up happening is it puts us in an awkward position. They're already at the defense before I even knock on the door. So I don't want to do that before. I want to do that there, because we are going to get, and some of you, and I've had coaching clients do this, where they call me up and they said, hey, coach, I sent them the entire pre-listing packet and they canceled the listing or canceled the appointment. Good. I'm glad, because ultimately the number that they're wanting is unrealistic. Let somebody else be the bad guy. Let somebody else take the listing for 3 to 6 months and let them get beat up. I have one coaching client that I can think of right now where the listing's been on the market for 4 months. Okay. And this still hasn't sold. And the property's overpriced by $100,000. And now the seller is calling the client. Hey, by chance, do you have any buyers? We're trying to get this property sold. And I'm like, hold steady, hold steady, hold steady, hold steady. Because by the time this thing expires, which you already have, already going to have a listing appointment in advance, it gives this agent the opportunity to now be plan B and be the hero. Okay. So questions, comments, concerns, anything else that I can address with the audience? I'm going to share the script here. We're going to get some more skills in. What other questions can we address?
Robert, what
what do you include? I probably asked you this already. What do you include in your pre-listing packet?
Sure. So in the pre-listing packet, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to include. Number one is going to be, without a doubt, is going to be a plan of action. You have to have a plan of action. You got to let them know with what it is that you're going to do to sell the home. Okay. Because they're going to ask you, what is it that you do? They might even sit there and say, hey, well, will you do an open house every week? They might even say, hey, I want you to show the house to every single last prospective buyers. What the heck? No, I don't do that. Okay. So number one is a plan of action. Number two is you want to be able to have, what's it called? A little bit about you. Okay. Not this braggadocious 14 pages about who you are, all this other stuff. You want to have a little bit of a bio, a resume, just a one pager about who, in a sense, you are. Number three is going to be, I don't want to say so much testimonials, but basically people of reference. Okay. So who are the people that they can call and be able to use? Number four is going to be that of a completed CMA. Okay, so you want to have a CMA. You're going to have all of, in a sense, the comps in there, and then I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. Of course, the contract you're going to want to have in there. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell, with what you want to have in there. You don't want to have too much. You don't want to have too much about yourself. You don't want to have anything about the company. If anything, maybe just a 1, 2, or 3 liner. Okay, if your company is the number one company in the area, it's going to speak for itself. You don't need to speak on behalf of that. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, but for the CMA, are you, I just want to make sure, are you doing a drill down CMA, or are you just doing like a general CMA? So what, and then bringing your more specified one with you and discussing that.
So my perfect CMA is the following. I have 6 comps. And in the 6 comps, 2 active, 2 pending, and 2 sold. Okay, that's the perfect CMA. I don't take anything less than 4 because it's hard to create value with less than 4. You might even have to expand your search. But Robert, this is a 2-bedroom, 10-bath home on 82 acres. I get it. I understand. That's completely different.
I think, Shelley, were you asking like what CMA he's including in the pre-listing packet and then what he's bringing?
Right, because I know some people, they just bring like, because you know how they say, oh, my neighbor sold for 15 million. So to keep it kind of generic, they'll just like do one for the whole area and send that ahead of time. So then the people can be like, hey, that's my neighbor's house. They get sold for 1.2. But when they get there, then they present on the 6.
Yeah. So of the 6, again, 2 active, 2 pending, 2 sold. That's what you're going to include in the listing packet. You're going to go ahead and send that out. Okay, that's what you include in the pre-listing packet. What do I take with me? I'm going to take the exact same CMA, but I'm going to take one more sheet with me. And that is going to be my one liner. My one liner is basically a 1-mile radius of every single last property. Okay, every single last property. And the reason for that is because you're going to, every once in a while, you're going to get well, what about the house that sold over there, like 2 blocks from here? Huh? What property are you talking about? Yeah, well, we're on Banana Street. There's Apple Street. It's over on Cherry Street. Okay, well, when did that property, what's on the market now? Okay, well, let me take a look. Oh, yeah, I had it right here. With all due respect, Shelley, this home here is a 5-bedroom. It's a 3-bath. It's 3,500 square feet. Yes, it is built by the exact same builder, but your home is a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1,800 square foot. So that home is absolutely the highest in the community in terms of the comparables. And then there's, of course, your home. Okay, so I'll take.
Robert, I agree.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. What you were saying. When I practice with some of the luxury brands, they'll present on that they have an international reach and I'm like, but my house is like in Tracy, California. So you think, my house is going to sell to somebody in Japan, and they just built their whole presentation on that. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and then they're going to do outside of that 1-mile radius. And you're going to go back to, look, real estate, as it's been said for 200 plus years, it's all about location, location, location. Okay, so the one thing I don't want to do is be unfair to those homes, and I also don't want to be unfair to your home. Okay, so it is important that we do pay attention to that. All right, so let's get some practice in. Let's go ahead and share script. Who wants to be the first one? We're not going to go through the whole thing, but who wants to be the first person to give it a whirl? Come on, let's get better. All right,
I'll do it.
Declan,
I'll
you're
do
up.
it.
Let's do it, Declan.
Okay, let me give me 1 second. Let me pull it up on my stack. My iPhone. I'll do it. Okay, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Robert, it's Declan here with Rio. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, I know we're meeting today, but before I come out, there's a few questions I just need to have answered, just so we're more efficient in our meeting this evening, if that's okay with you.
For sure, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Now, if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident, did I get your home sold? Are you tonight at 5?
I mean, we want to make a decision. I just really always have a family policy where we want to think about it. We always spend at least a night. 24-hour is my policy. So I'd like to hear the information, and then I can, make a decision shortly after.
Oh, yeah, that makes total sense. And I agree with you. You should think it over. But if everything makes sense and you feel comfortable with me, are you planning to list with me?
Well, we do have another agent in mind, so we want to be
Okay.
thorough throughout the process. At this point in time, to be honest with you, Declan, it would be in a sense yours to lose. But my wife also has a coworker that has a spouse that's also in the business.
Okay. Your wife has a coworker that has a spouse that's in the business. Makes total sense. Yeah. What's the agent's name, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't really know. I know that she's had conversations, but I really don't know.
Okay, you don't know. Okay, well, cool. Well, I think it's very admirable you guys to interview more than one agent for the job to sell your property. I mean, it's an important thing, but it shows that you guys are being thorough, and so that's a good thing.
Mhm.
And another question, Robert, if you were to sell this property, where are you guys going to move to next?
Well, we're going to San Diego.
You're going to San Diego.
Mhm.
That's where I'm from. Perfect.
Yeah.
What part of San Diego?
Well, we're thinking north end of San Diego, North County, preferably closer to the coast. We'd like to be, I don't know, as far south as Del Mar, and as far north as, I don't know, maybe even Oceanside. I haven't really looked at Oceanside too much, but we might be open to it.
Okay. Yeah, Oceanside is incredible. They were really revitalized. When I was a kid, nobody went to Oceanside, but now it's been revitalized.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, that's the only reason I say that. I'm not really sold on it yet, but I do see the up and coming of it.
Yeah. And do you have an agent helping you down there, Robert?
Not yet. We are toying with the idea of getting a new build, so we have looked at some of the new construction. Unfortunately, our budget is probably pushing us more inland to, like, maybe, I don't know, San Marcos, which I'd prefer not to be at.
Yeah. And you know what, Robert? As I said, I'm from that area, North San Diego. So I'd be open if you'd be willing to. I'd also like to interview for the job of being your buying agent, if that's good with you and your wife.
Yeah, yeah, we can sit there and talk about it later.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, that's one of the things we'll discuss tonight. All right. Yeah, a couple other questions, and I'll let you go. Going back to your property tonight, how much do you want to list your property for? As a professional real estate agent, I sell homes at prices every day, but before I come out, I just assume that you're going to list with me at a price that's going to cause your home to sell. Is that about fair, Robert?
Yeah, I apologize, Declan. I'm showing you the investor script, and I just realized that. So, all right. Anyways, let's go ahead and pause right there. Okay, so just to avoid any further confusion. So, all right. So let me give Lizette the opportunity to just kind of give you a little bit of response, critique, what we'd like to see a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you did really good as far as like turning every stone. So, and also asking the questions to get further, and you found that relatability aspect. So I think you did really well right there. Especially asking about, hey, if you have an agent out there, just making sure that that's covered. But I do think at the beginning where you're like, hey, it's Declan. And I would say to add more confidence, like, hey, it's Declan, your realtor, like already just claim it. Just say it's Declan, your realtor with real brokerage, or, just kind of like that. And just assume that that's the case. Yeah, you're interviewing others, but I'm your realtor. Perfect. I think that adds a little bit more confidence to your introduction. And I think that's probably the only one that I give right now.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is just a little bit of the fluidity of it. because in the fluidity, there's the pause.
Yeah.
It creates a sense of awkwardness. So I don't know if it was the script. I do apologize if it was the script. But the other thing is it's being in a position where not only do we have it memorized, but having it internalized. Okay. Because that's going to keep the casualness of it. And instead of us sitting here thinking about with what we are going to say next, we're thinking about with what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing too is right out the gate. So here, let's quickly role reverse, and I'll give you the with what I'm asking of you in the example on the role play versus just telling you. So here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Declan. Hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Robert. How are you doing? Aren't we seeing each other tonight?
Yeah, we are seeing each other tonight. I promised you I was going to call you before work. I know you said you get into the office about 9 o'clock. I want to just ask you a few questions so that I'm thoroughly prepared for our appointment later today. Can I borrow you for about 5 to 10 minutes now?
Sure.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. Now, Declan, if what I say makes sense, and of course, I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel confident that I can sell your home. Are you planning on listing your home with me when I come out later today at 5 o'clock?
Well, we do want to think about it. My wife and I have this policy of sleeping on it before we make a decision. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't blame you. It's a big, big decision. Now, this policy that you mentioned, is it basically just kind of an overnighter thing, or is it a little bit more of a thorough process? Tell me more about that.
yeah, just a 24-hour thing. Yeah, just we discussed it, sleep on it, and come up with a decision. Probably 24 hours.
Cool. No, absolutely. I can definitely respect that. Now, I do want to make sure, though, we're on the same page, though, Declan, after with when I meet with you tonight at 5 o'clock. If what I do say makes sense, I get all of the stars aligned and everything is in a perfect position. Will I at least have the opportunity to earn your business based on my presentation tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to sell this house.
All right.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Now, I don't want to assume, Declan, are you planning, interviewing any other agents for the job of selling your home?
We are. Yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple meetings today besides the
Okay.
one with you.
Got it. Okay. So I'm glad I asked this question. How many agents are you looking at interviewing besides myself?
Three total.
Okay. Got it. So three total. Have you spoken to any of them yet?
Just over the phone.
Okay, cool. So now the other two that you're going to be interviewing them, when are you interviewing them?
Before you, actually.
Okay, got it. So you're going to meet with the other two before me. Then there's going to be myself. You're going to sleep on it for 24 hours. And then at that point in time, interviewing three people, you should feel comfortable making a decision at that point.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Now, share with me, though, what characteristics are you looking for in your realtor?
My answer is price, and then
Mm.
my wife's answer is communication.
There we Yeah, that's like any relationship, huh? Communication. So price and communication, it's absolutely vital. So besides price and communication, is there anything else that you can think of in what you want in your realtor?
Uh, yeah, I know those are probably the two most important things for us.
Sure. Now, is track record and performance part of your decision making as to with what the realtor's bringing to the table?
Yeah, I just want you to do the best for me. I
Yeah.
don't care what you've done in the past. So just as long as you've, net me the most amount of money in my
Good.
pocket.
Okay,
That's all
perfect.
I need.
And would it be fair to say you're also looking for a realtor that does have a very specific plan of action that they're going to execute to get this property sold?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Good. Now, I'm going to ask of you one favor. You're going to interview the other two realtors. I would encourage you to ask them what exactly is their plan of action. And then that way you can be able to compare with what they do versus with what I do. Would that be fair for you?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
do that.
Awesome. So now I have this information. I parked here for a minute because I know that this is going to be an objection. I'm not saying that this is the only thing that I'm going to go over, but this is the part where I'm going to park here for a second. And then when I go through the presentation, I'm going to go through Declan. You have the opportunity, Declan and the wife, you have the opportunity at the end of my presentation. One of three things will happen. Number one, you have the opportunity to list your home with me. And a lot of sellers like yourself, they actually do make that decision, okay, because they see the benefit, the value, the plan of action, the commitment, the loyalty, the communication, and the amount of pricing that we get. Okay. Number two is you might decide that I might not be the right realtor and you guys might decide not to list your home with me, and that's okay. Number three is I might decide at the same point in time that I may not be your realtor and I may decide to simply walk away and not take your listing. Any one of those three, are you okay with?
Yeah, I'm okay.
See, here's the thing, Declan. You're probably asking yourself of the third one, well, why would you not want to take my listing? Declan, the last thing I want to do is ever be in a position where I'm like many realtors that are out there that overpromise and underdeliver. And I don't want to be one of those realtors. I want to make sure that I give you the information that is going to cause your home to sell. I mean, you want the truth and nothing but the truth, don't you?
You won't. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Okay, perfect. Now, I want to make sure by the time this thing's all said and done that you are comfortable, you are confident, so that you and your wife can make that decision. Because unfortunately, a lot of realtors, they overpromise, and unfortunately, even worse, they underdeliver. So I want to make sure we're on the same page. Let's continue, and then I move on. So that's what I mean by chipping away based on the information that I just gathered. What did 99% of the realtors? Oh, I don't want to ask them if they're going to interview other realtors. And then what do? They show up, they do the song and dance. Hey, look at me, I'm great. Look at the company. This is what we do. You ready? Oh, you talked to two other realtors. When'd you do that? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, we could probably do a better job. I mean, I know I can do a great job for you guys. And then you start playing this chase game. Do you see the benefits and the power of pre-qualification, everybody? All right, so we're going to continue on this. I'm going to go ahead and go over just by one more minute. Lizette, any final thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
I think there was just like 3 things that I wanted to point out because I thought you did it very well. So number 1 is setting up the question to be a no-brainer. So basically, well, yeah, am I going to have that opportunity to make you more money? I don't know what you said, but you said it very eloquently. So just, leading them to answer yes, obviously. So I believe the more little yeses you get, you lead to a bigger yes. So I think that was a great tip. And then I think you also made the decision-making process more, I don't know the word, but it just made it more clear as to, okay, so this needs to happen, and this needs to happen in order for you to make a decision, right? And so, yes. Okay, so at least now you have like that guide. And then I also think that you did a great job as far as showing the doubt in your tone whenever that's what you're trying to do when they are interviewing other agents. So you're showing the doubt in your tone and then also with your facial expressions. So I think that also
yeah, thank you for that. Actually, if I can keep you unmuted here just for one more minute. So Lizette and I, we're listening to a book right now. What's the book that we listened to this morning?
I think it's like 92 ways to talk to people.
92 ways to talk to people.
Oh, how to talk to anyone. 92 tricks.
Okay, so it's a super cool book. Anyways, what I gathered today from today's Audible is it's a really powerful point, and I never heard it from this perspective. People get paid on their ability to communicate. People get paid for their ability to communicate. People do not get paid for their degree. Did you guys get that? Sure, you might get job offered, but as everything performance continues to move forward, the person, are they going to be able to perform? Are they going to be able to communicate? So this is important, especially in our industry. We get paid by the ability of our communication skills. The language of sales, especially for those of you that are like, oh, I don't like scripts. Oh, I don't like to prospect. I don't like to do this other stuff. Well, guess what? Our job is to have conversations. Our job is to communicate. And if you cannot eloquently be in a position where you can have these communication skills, good luck. So I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to leave that today, 12 o'clock. I'm going to be having the Power of Pre-Qualification class in its entirety today at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to encourage you to come join us here on the exact same Zoom ID. Okay. And of course, it'll be, live showcased on the Facebook group. So I would encourage you guys to come join us there. All right, everybody, let's have a powerful day. Let's go take a listing or 5. Thank you for hanging in there for a few extra minutes. I'll see you guys later at 12 o'clock. All righty. Bye-bye. All right, guys, you guys heard it. I'm going to see you guys later today at 12 o'clock. So I'll see you guys. Make sure you guys come join us. It's not going to be on Instagram. It's not going to be on YouTube. So I'm going to encourage you guys to come join us over on Zoom and, of course, and or Facebook. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in.